Hollywood, California. The Brown Derby Restaurant on Wilshire Boulevard. March 1973. Thursday evening, 8 o'clock. The restaurant smells of prime rib and cigarette smoke, and the particular quality of expensive perfume that collects in rooms where money and reputation sit close together. The lighting is amber and low, and the booths are deep enough that conversations inside them stay inside them, which is one of the reasons people with things to say have been having dinner here since 1929. 27 people are present in the private dining room that has been reserved for this evening. A studio dinner, which means it is nominally a celebration and actually a negotiation, the kind of gathering where the food is very good and the conversation beneath the conversation is always about what everyone wants and who is going to get it. John Wayne is here because he is always at dinners like this, has been at dinners like this for 40 years, and has learned to move through them the way large ships move through harbors, with attention to what is below the surface and patience with how long it takes to get anywhere. The journalist's name is Whitfield. This is his last name. He is 38 years old and works for a newspaper based in New York that is read by the kind of people who consider themselves to be arbiters of what is serious and what is not, and he has been in Hollywood for 3 weeks gathering material for a profile of the changing face of American cinema, which is a project that requires him to have opinions about things he does not fully understand, which he has always found to be the most interesting kind of project. He is thin, quick, with the particular alertness of a man who has spent his career watching other people closely enough to know which questions make them uncomfortable. He is good at his job. He is also the kind of man who mistakes discomfort for revelation. Whitfield has been in the room for 2 hours before he sits near enough to John Wayne to speak directly to him. He has been observing Wayne across the table during dinner. He has noted the way Wayne moves in the room, the way the room orients toward him without being asked, the way even the men with the most expensive suits recalibrate their posture slightly when Wayne turns in their direction. He has been trying to locate the source of it, this quality, this gravitational pull that does not appear to come from performance, that appears to simply exist the way certain physical facts exist, and he has not located it to his satisfaction, which means he has decided to approach the matter directly. He slides into the empty seat to Wayne's left during the long pause after the main course is cleared, when the room has split into smaller conversations and the noise level makes it possible to speak privately in a group of 27. He says, "Mr. Wayne, I've been told you're a man of faith." Wayne looks at him. He is 65 years old this March. 6 feet 4 inches still. His face has the quality of something that has been weathered into its final form. All the original softness resolved by decades of sun and work and the specific discipline of a man who has decided what he is and has had long enough to settle into it. He has been asked about his faith before. He will be asked again. He is in the category of public men about whom other people feel they have questions. He says, "That's right." Whitfield nods. He uncaps his pen. He says, "Does that ever feel like a contradiction? For a man in your position, Hollywood being what it is." Wayne says, "Not particularly." The journalist writes something. He looks up. He says, "I've spoken to several people this week who find it surprising that someone with he pauses for the right word, your image, the masculine archetype, the self-sufficient man, would need something like that." Wayne is quiet. He lifts his water glass and drinks from it and sets it back down. He says, "What would you have me need instead?" Whitfield considers this. He says, "I suppose what I'm asking is whether it's sincere or whether it's part of the brand. God and country. Cowboys and churches. You see what I mean?" The table nearest them has gone quiet. Not the whole room. Just the 6 people in immediate proximity who have registered the specific temperature of this conversation and made the calculation that it is worth attending to. Wayne looks at Whitfield. The look is not hostile. It is the look of a man who has just understood something about the person in front of him and is deciding what, given that understanding, to do. He has been looked at his whole life. Looked at by directors and producers and journalists and audiences of millions. He has looked back at all of them. He knows what it is to hold a look and what it costs and what it communicates, and he applies this knowledge now without hurry. He says, "I've been in a lot of rooms, son." He says it the way he says most things, which is quietly and without inflection that tells you how to feel about it. Just the words. The room that has gone quiet nearest them goes quieter. Whitfield blinks. He is waiting for more. There is not more. That is the sentence. He looks at Wayne and Wayne looks back, and the silence between them is not awkward. Not on Wayne's end, because Wayne has no relationship with awkward silences that gives them power over him. The silence is simply what comes after the sentence, and he lets it be what it is. Whitfield says, "I'm not sure I follow." Wayne says, "I know." He picks up his fork. He finishes what is on his plate. He does not look at the journalist again that evening, not because he is dismissing him, but because there is nothing further to be done in that direction, and Wayne has never spent time in directions that have nothing left in them. The 6 people at the neighboring table have heard enough. 2 of them will tell this story for the rest of their lives. The specific 6 words. The specific quality of the silence that followed. The way Wayne's face looked when he said it, which was not triumphant, not satisfied, not like a man who has scored a point, but simply like a man who has said a true thing and returned to his dinner. What Whitfield does with it, in the privacy of his own head during the cab ride back to his hotel, is harder to know. He has spent his career identifying the soft places in public figures, the spots where the armor shows its seams, and he went into that conversation expecting to find one in this direction, the faith direction, expecting to find either embarrassment or defensiveness or the kind of aggressive overclaiming that means a man is not quite certain. He found none of these. What he found instead was a man sitting inside something too large to be examined from the outside in one dinner conversation. Whitfield's profile is published 6 weeks later. It is several thousand words about American cinema and the changing of the guard. John Wayne appears in it once, briefly, as a representative of a passing era. His faith is not mentioned. His editor asks him why. The source material is there. The contrast is there. Wayne as throwback, Wayne as artifact, the old kind of American masculinity with its old kind of American God. It's a paragraph that writes itself. Whitfield is quiet for a moment. Then he says, "I don't have enough of the story." The editor says, "You were in the room with him for 4 hours." Whitfield says, "I know." He pauses. "I still don't have enough of it." He does not explain further. He does not know how to explain it using the language available to him, which is the language of profiles and trends and the cultural meaning of public figures. What happened in that restaurant is not easily carried by that language. What happened is that he asked a man whether his faith was sincere or performed, and the man looked at him out of 65 years of living and said 6 words that meant, "I have been in rooms you have not been in, and I have needed things you have not needed, and I came out the other side of all of it with this, and I am not standing here to convince you." Whitfield goes back to New York. He writes other profiles. He is a good journalist. He is, after that Thursday evening in March 1973, a slightly different kind of good journalist, though he would be hard-pressed to explain the difference to anyone who asked. The 27 people at that dinner go their separate ways. The 6 at the nearest table carry the story in their chests for decades. Some of them tell it. Some of them don't. The ones who tell it always pause at the same place, just before the 6 words, because the pause is part of the story. The pause is where you understand what kind of man is about to speak, and without the pause, the 6 words are just words. "I've been in a lot of rooms, son." That is what John Wayne said in the Brown Derby restaurant in Hollywood in March 1973 to a journalist who laughed at his faith in front of 27 people. Not a defense. Not a theology. Not a rebuke. 6 words that contained everything a man accumulates in 65 years of actually living inside his own life. And that communicated, with the economy of a man who has never needed to say more than the situation requires, that there are kinds of knowing that do not arrive by sitting across a dinner table with a notepad and deciding in advance what